Good afternoon, Talking After Dark family, and welcome to another episode of Talking After Dark. Let's call this video The Math of It All. And I know you're probably wondering or pondering what the devil is he talking about, the math of it all. Well, believe it or not, in any relationship, a dating, a court, whatever you want to call it, there is a process that is called the math of it all. The math of it all has to do with the opportunities that you have to figure out where you are and who you're with and what they do and why they do it and when they do it and what they say and what they mean and all those things. Well, that becomes the factoring. You begin to factor in those opportunities to extrapolate information from those opportunities to tell you kind of where you are, how you see them, and based upon what you want in your life, what you need in your life, and what you're being presented with, it poses the question of what do you do now? So let's say, for instance, that you and the person that you're dating spend a night together. You go out. You go out on a vacation, a short vacation, any kind of vacation. But you go out on a vacation, and during the vacation, you're a hunter. You like to go in the woods, and you like to do those kind of things. But and the woman that you're dating, she tells you that she likes the outdoors and she really likes being out and she really looks forward to maybe doing that with you one day. So finally she gets the opportunity and you guys go out camping and all, and you find out when you get out during the camping process that she can't stand the bugs. She's got Lysol and bug spray and snake spray and all these other things that she feels like she's gonna need to keep her safe, and you in doing the process there, she's just complaining about everything. It stinks in the woods. It's too many snakes, too many rodents, too many flies, too many mosquitoes. That it really begins to get annoying to you. Matter of fact, it gets so annoying that you just decide to just call it quits, and you decide to just pack up y'all gear and you guys just take it on in because you can't deal with all of the whining and the bickering and all. And she's really trying to be a good sport about it because she just wants to be where you are. But you can see she can't deal with it. She can't take it. So that's when the factoring comes in. You begin to factor in the fact that you thought that you were getting someone who liked what you liked and who was willing to do what you wanted to do, but you found out during that camping trip that she probably said all those things just because she just wanted to be with you. She just wanted to be wherever you were and to do whatever it is you were doing, to just buy into to what you liked. So now you got to take another look at her because this is really not someone who likes what you do. They don't mind you doing it, and they thought they might have wanted to do it with you or said that they would because they knew it would get your attention and that you would pay more attention to them. But you find out that that's really not where they are. And because you like this person and you like them even more so because you thought that they would buy into the things that you wanted to do, but now you find out that that's not the fact. That's not the case. So now you got to have a second look at this individual because you feel somewhat bamboozled, somewhat swayed by the fact that they misled you to some degree, and it was not intentional to mislead you. It was just intentional and purposeful that they let you know that they were interested enough to at least try it, and they did. But for you, it's an opportunity for you to rethink the situation and whether or not that's something you want to, or someone for that matter, that you really want to pursue. And that's just one aspect of it. Let's say you guys spend the night together, and while you're spending the night and you guys finally fall asleep, whatever, She wakes you up several times in the middle of the night and she tells you that you are snoring horribly, that she can't sleep because your snoring is just ridiculous, and it sounds like a bear in the woods, and it's just too much. So now here comes another opportunity to factor in the fact that if you had to sleep with this person on a regular basis, that this is what you have to listen to. This is what you have to deal with. And as much as you might like this person or think you might like this person, you begin to see them differently now because you see a side of them, or you see something that you're not so sure that you're ready for. You're not so sure if you can deal with the snoring and the sleeping patterns and that kind of thing. So there goes another opportunity to factor in something else. So there's so many opportunities that we have in being with someone to consider what does it look like at the end, and is what you think and see, is it really what you're getting? And I will probably venture to say that it's not. Sometimes, yes, it is. A lot of times, it's really not. So anytime you take two people and bring two people together to try to form a more perfect union, there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be things that you guys agree to disagree on, and there are going to be things that you like, and there are going to be things that you don't like about this person. But the beauty of it all is not so much about finding someone that you can live with. It's about finding someone that you can't live without. That is the optimal challenge right there, is finding someone that you can't live without. Because I can guarantee you that no matter how much you love this person, no matter how much you like them, you're going to find something about them that is going to cause you to have a different calculation, a different faction, a different figuring out of what is this that you're doing, and who is this that you're doing this with, and does the numbers add up, and is it happening like you say you thought it would, and does all of the pieces fall together to make sense to you? So that's why the title has to do with the math of it all, because in this whole process, we're constantly calculating, we're constantly factoring in and figuring out what it is about this person that we like, that we want, that we need, that we don't need. And they're doing the same thing. Everybody's figuring out where they are and what they're doing, and what does it look like at the end game, at the end of the road. And are the numbers high enough for you to be able to say, I'm good with this, I'm good with that, I can do this? And are the numbers so low that you just said, it's not even worth the investment, it's not even worth your time? That is certainly a consideration for you to figure out about what it is you're adding up, what's the numbers that are being processed to give you guys a fair assessment of who each other are, and to make sure that apples are apples and oranges are oranges, and there's no misconception about what fruit a tree bears, because you need to know. It's easy to say you like somebody and you love somebody when everything is going right, everything is happening the way you need to. But when those things don't happen the way you need them to, when those things are happening in such a way that you feel like you need to rethink the situation, you need to reconsider what you're doing and who you're doing it with, and to ask yourself, is this a good fit for you? Is this a good match for you, based upon some of those things that are not tangible, that things that you didn't see, things that you couldn't have figured out based on just seeing somebody's actions on a daily basis when you're going out, you're going to dinner, you're going to have fun, and this. But those other things that, is the sex good? Do you like it? Does it stimulate you? Does it provide you with the necessity, what you need to get from it, what you want? Is the conversation good enough for you on a regular basis that you guys can talk about anything and everything, and be fair about each other's disagreements about the things that you talk about? Is the relationship with friends and relatives to the degree that you like what you see, how this person interact with your friend, how they interact with their family, how they interact in the public. See, there's just so many things to be considered, so many things that we take for granted that we just assume because we like somebody, we assume that because we love somebody, that all those other things are just gonna fit in, but they won't, and they don't. But sometimes they do. And the question to you is, are the numbers good enough for you to seal the deal? Or are the numbers just too low that it's not even worth a consideration? That's a thought for you to have. And that should be enough to slow you down to the point for you to consider some things that on the long end of things, can you say that you have made the right decision based upon things that you didn't know or couldn't have known until you found them out? But believe it or not, we usually fall in love, or we usually feel some kind of way about somebody long before we find out all of the things we need to know. But do you need to know everything before you seal a deal? Or maybe do you just need to know enough to get by? I would venture to tell you that you might want to know as much as you need to know, or you think you need to know, to get you to where you need to be. Because when you talk about the commitment, when you talk about the marriage, when you talk about the finality of the courtship, you find yourself in a different place. But the place that you end up, is that a place where you want to be? Is that a place where you feel safe and secure and committed and loyal and protected and all those other things that are going to be important to the duration of the relationship? So you're going to have to ask yourself the hard questions based upon the factoring and the calculating and the figuring it out about what you're doing and who you're doing it with and what it is you guys want from each other. Listen, I know for a fact that sometimes we overlook things, we underlook things, and we don't consider the things that are really going to be important to us down the line. So take the time, factor in, calculate, figure it out if this is going to be a due process for you, if this is going to be a place where you want to be. You've done your due diligence, and at the end of the process, you figure out that you okay with everything is good, that you love this person, you want to be with this person no matter what, then hey, go for it. But go for it with all due diligence. Go for it with all vigor and vitality. Go make it happen. But if you realize there's a place that's not going to work for you, that doesn't equate to provide you with the numbers necessary for you to seal that deal, don't waste that person's time. Don't waste their time. Release them from that and allow them to seek other options or opportunities that they might have to be the very best that they can be, to be great in whatever means they need to be, and including yourself as well. So listen, love to hear your comment. I know you ought to have some comments about this. You're probably in situations right now that you are figuring things out. You're calculating things. You're restructuring things. You're figuring it out. You're trying to make it all make sense. You're trying to do the math. Yes, the math of it all. Because at the end of the day, it's a process. It's a calculating process. It's a factoring process. It's a process that you should not be entering into lightly. You should do all due diligence and figure it out and make sure that you are extrapolating from those opportunities to provide yourself with all due diligence and make informed decisions about where you are and who you're with and what you're doing, and ensure that you're getting from the relationship that you want and need for the long haul, not for the moment, because too many times we date momentarily. We date in the moment. We don't date thinking forward. We date in the moment. So take some time and get out of the moment and think about what's going on in the long term. Love you, appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and more importantly, let me hear your comments. Take care. God bless.